What's up guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to do this chemistry October 2025 41 paper. So now let's look at the first question. The first question will fill out the table of the reactive mass and reactive charge. Oh my god, so easy. So whoever cannot do this, I will find you and I will draw ass. Okay, so the reactive atom mass for proton and neutrons are same, both are 1. And the charge for neutron, easy, is 0 because neutral. Electron is -1. Okay, question B. Define the term isotopes. So isotope means the atoms with atoms of the same element with the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Easy peasy. So B2, explain why all isotopes of the same element have same chemical properties. So this one, please remember, every time if they ask about same chemical properties, it's because they have the same number of valence electrons. Okay, so valence electron means the electron in the outermost shell. Like for example, group 1 all have 1 electrons, group 7 all have 7 electrons. Okay, question C is table O. So bottom left, this is your proton number, top left, this is nuclear number. Okay, so to find the number of neutrons, you just have to use nucleon minus your proton because nucleon is proton plus neutron. So we get 22 here. The next one, number of protons, you can see from here is 16. Electrons, okay, so see here they have a 2 minus. So if 2 minus means you have 2 extra electrons. That's why you have negative charge. So here will be 18 and 22. If you look from periodic table, it's Ti. And then 22 here, nucleon will be 50. Those are protons and neutrons. And the electrons you can see here is 2 less than the protons. So the charge will be 2 plus. Done. Okay. Next question, still name other term, define the total number of proton neutrons. Easy peasy. So this is called nucleon number. Okay, next find the number of atoms in 2 grams of argon. So to find number of atoms, you have to use number of moles times the Avogadro constant. Okay, so to find the number of moles, we need to use the formula mass over molar mass for this question because they give us the mass. So we have 2 divided by argon molar mass is 40. You can get this from the periodic table. So we get the answer 0.05 mole. And then we just need to use the 0.05 times Avogadro constant. And we get answer 3.01 times 10 power of 23. I mean not 23, 22. Easy peasy. Next, question 2, identify the element in group 2. We have only 5 occupied shells. So this one is strontium. Okay, 3 marks question. Just look from periodic table. Number B, name and describe type of bonding in group 2. So group 1 to group 3 in your periodic table, they are metals. So metals, they have metallic bond. Okay, so to describe metallic bond, you just have to mention they have positive metal ions which are arranged in lattice. Okay, lattice means they have regular arrangement and they are surrounded by sea of electrons. Okay, and the attraction force is between the positive ions and electrons. Done. Easy peasy. Question C. Calcium added to cold water containing reverse indicator. 3 observations. So what can we see from this experiment? First, calcium will dissolve. So we just say the solid dissolved. Second, this calcium add water to produce hydrogen gas. So gas produced in liquid, you see bubbles, which we call effervescence. Okay, if you can't remember this word, too hard to spell it, you can write fizzing. Okay, it's the same meaning. Easy peasy. Then the last one, calcium will form calcium hydroxide, so it is alkali. Alkali in universal indicator will show you blue color. So the solution turns blue. Blue da-ba-dee-da-ba-doo. Hell yeah. Okay, C2. Name the two products of this reaction. Oh, I just told you guys. First one, calcium hydroxide. And the second one is hydrogen gas. So easy. Question D. Calcium burns in oxygen. State the color of the flame. Oh, so this one is your flame test. So the color of the flame test you have to memorize for your paper 4. Okay, because the table is not given in P4, but they are only given in P6. Okay, so the color of the flame, if you memorize correctly, is orange, red. Write a simple equation, so easy. So calcium plus oxygen give you calcium oxide, and we have to balance it to 2. Done. Okay. Question E. State a term given to water molecules present in hydrated crystals. So this one, please memorize the term. It is called water of crystallization. Done. Next question. So here we have to calculate the moles. Okay, so for moles calculation, you have to memorize all the formulas. Okay, so the first formula is moles equals mass divided by molar mass. Second formula, moles equals to volume divided by 24 dm cube. Okay, take note on this. You must use the unit dm cube for volume. If they give you cm cube, you have to change to dm cube by dividing 1000. Okay, the last formula n equals to cv. Okay, the moles equals concentration times volume. So again, the volume here must be in dm cube as well. Okay, so how you know which formula to use for the question? You just need to check what are the info given. Like here, they give us a mass. So obviously we have to use the first formula. Okay, so n equals mass over molar mass. The mass 3.28 divided by molar mass is given here 164, and type in your calculator, we get 0.02. So easy. Even my dog also can do this. Oh yeah, by the way, the name of my dog is Doctor. You're welcome. Okay, next, find the number of moles of H2O given off. So again, you can see here the mass decreased by 1.44. Okay, so since we heat these crystals, it will give off this crystal and water. Okay, so the water evaporate. So basically, the mass reduced here is the water that escaped. Okay, so we use the same formula, divide by 18, we get a moles 0.08. Done. So easy. Okay, next, determine the value of X. To find the ratio, okay, just do simple math. So we have 0.02 to 0.08, 2 to 8, so basically 1 to 4. Done. So easy. Okay, students, now number 3, we have a solve question. Ooh. So complete the symbol equation, include the state symbols. Okay, so acid plus alkali give you salt and water. Okay, and the state symbol. Okay, for any compound, we always use aqueous. Okay, unless it is insoluble salt. Insoluble salt will be in solid. Okay, so water will always be L, liquid, and then balance equation 2H2O. B, state the type of exothermic reaction taking place. Okay, so acid plus alkaline, the reaction is called neutralization. So easy. Next one, calculate the concentration NaOH in step 1. So here they gave us the moles and they give us the volume. Okay, so we have to use the formula N equals Cv. And we just submit the value 0.01 equals to C times 40 over 1000. Okay, like I said in the previous page, you have to change to dm cube. Okay, that's why I divide 1000 here. So type this in calculator, you should get answer 0.25. So easy. Okay. D. Name the item apparatus used to add H2SO4. Okay, so for neutral addition, the method we use is titration. So the thing, the long tube thing, where we use to add the reactant drop by drop, it is called burette. Okay. E. Calculate the volume of H2SO4 added in step 3. So here, okay, we have the concentration. So we need the moles of this H2SO4. How we find the moles? You just have to compare the ratio from your chemical equation. Okay, so you can see here, 2 NaOH means the ratio is 2 to nothing in front of my H2SO4, so it's 2 to 1. Okay, so ratio 1, I don't know what's my mole, so I use X unknown, but my ratio 2, the NaOH, we know is 0.01 mole. So we just do cross multiply and we get 0.005 mole for H2SO4. Okay, but we haven't done because we need to look for volume. So again, N equals to CV. Okay, the C is given 0.2 times V. So from here you can get your V equals to 0.025 dm cube. But we haven't done, they want to answer in cm cube, so we times 1000 and we get 25 cm cube. Done. Okay, F, state the color change observed in step 3. So step 3, you can see here they use methyl orange indicator. So methyl orange, we start from NaOH, which is alkali. So alkali for methyl orange is yellow color. Okay. After we add the acid until neutral point, neutral, the color will be orange. Okay, that's why it is called methyl orange. So easy. Skibidi. Question G. What the student should do to get white crystals? Okay, so this crystal is colored because they have added an indicator. So if you want to get white crystals, it's easy only. You just need to repeat step 1 and 3 without the indicator. Done. Okay, H. Explain the term saturated solution. So easy. So saturated solution means the solution cannot dissolve any more solute. What we haven't done, at specific temperature. Okay, the specific temperature is the point where you get the second mark. Okay, why we have to write this? Because if you increase the temperature, maybe it still can dissolve a little bit more solid. Okay, that's why you have to mention is at specific temperature. Okay, number 2, explain why crystals start to appear as hot solution cools. Okay, like I mentioned just now, the temperature affects the solubility of your solution. So this one, you just have to write the solubility decreases as the temperature decreases. So easy. Number 3, suggest the effect on the mass collected if allowed to dry without gentle heating. So this one, the answer is no effect. It's the same. Yeah. We go to number 4. So here we have to sketch the exo-endo graph. So how you know exo-endo? You check the enthalpy here. So enthalpy change negative means exo. If positive, then endo. So here we know it is exo. Exo graph, you just sketch like a small hill and it drop down, straight line. Okay, because exo release heat, that's why the energy level is lower in product. Okay, and then we label down the product SO2G plus 4HFG. So easy. Next point, label EA. Activation energy is from the hill, the peak of the hill, to the reactant line. EA, enthalpy change, reactant line to your product line. That's it, done. Easy 4 marks, oh my god. Next question, the bond energy. Okay, so guys, please remember, enthalpy change formula is reactant minus product. Okay, so you see the first one, they ask you to find energy to break the bonds. So energy to break bonds basically means your reactant energy, because you want to break the bonds in reactants to form new bonds for your product. Okay, easy concept. So here reactants energy, we have 4 SF bond, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 OH, and you just total up these values, you get 3160. Done. Okay, find the energy released when a bond in the product is formed. Okay, so they already gave us the enthalpy change, so we can use this formula. Negative 54 equals 3160 minus product. So I use P to represent. So my product, rearrange, you get answer 3214 kilojoules. So easy. Calculate the S double bond O bond energy. Okay, so now we look at the bond energy of product. We have 2 S double bond O, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 HF. So 4 times 570 equals 3214. So rearrange this, simple maths, and we should get S double bond O equals 467. Your favorite number, 67. Okay, good. Question C, equilibrium. Okay, so what happens when temperatures increase? So for equilibrium, temperature increase, the equilibrium shift to endothermic. Okay, this one you have to memorize. So I know my forward is exo, means my backward reaction is endo. So the equilibrium shift to the left, because backward reaction is endothermic. So easy. Next, the pressure increase. So increasing pressure, shift to the side with lesser moles. So from the chemical equation here, left side I have 1 plus 2, 3 moles. Right side 1 plus 4, 5 moles. So left side has lesser moles. So again, my equilibrium will shift to the left, because lesser moles on the left side. So easy. Okay, next one, catalyst added. So catalyst only affects your rate of reaction. Okay, it will not affect your equilibrium. So the answer for this is no change. So please don't get tricked by this question. Okay. Hey, question D, explain of collision theory, why reducing temperature decrease the rate of reaction. So easy peasy. First thing, because when the temperature decrease, your particles will lose kinetic energy. Okay, or you can mention that kinetic energy decrease. So what happens next is, okay, for the reaction to happen, you need collision between the particles to produce enough activation energy so that the reaction can happen. Okay, so if kinetic energy decrease, your rate of collision between the particles will decrease. Okay, so when there's lesser collision between particles, you have lesser chance of getting successful collision. Okay, successful collision means the collision which gives you enough activation energy for the reaction to occur. Okay, so if you have less successful collisions, the rate of reaction will decrease. Easy peasy. Okay. Next one. Question number 5. Oh, organic chem, so easy. So general formula of alcohol. It's just CnH2n plus 1 OH. Okay, so easy. Characteristics same for all formula series. Oh my god. Same. Functional group. Chemistry is so easy, guys. How to not get A star for this subject? Mamma mia. Okay, question B. Method 1 using glucose, method 2 using ethane. So method 1 is your fermentation and method 2 is the hydration, okay, which you add steam to your ethane. So the temperature used for fermentation must be room temperature, so 25 degrees Celsius. Essential conditions, so first thing you need to add yeast, and then you need to have this anaerobic respiration, which means there is not enough oxygen. So absence of oxygen. Okay, so method 2 hydration, the temperature needed is 300 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the conditions, first acid as catalyst, second the pressure used is 60 atm. So please memorize this, easy peasy. Okay, write a simple equation for method 1. So glucose is C6H12O6. It will break down into ethanol, C2H5OH, plus respiration, so they produce carbon dioxide, and then balance it. Okay, for method 2, ethene, C2H4, plus the steam, H2O, give you C2H5OH, done. Okay, C1, deduce the molecular formula of this. So you just have to calculate the total number of CH and O in here. So we get C4H10O2. So easy. Okay, so butane, blah blah blah, with ethanol acid. Determine the number of moles ethanol acid react fully with 1 mole of this butane 1,4-diol. Okay. So from here, if you look at the C and the H, you can see the numbers is double. Okay, so which means you actually need 2 moles. So easy. Okay, next page. Deduce the empirical formula of this butane acid. Okay, so empirical formula means the formula in the simplest form. Okay, so you just have to calculate the total CHO here and then simplify it until the simplest form, and you should get the answer C2H3O2. Okay, D2. Name the gas form when the butane acid with sodium. So acid plus metal always give you hydrogen gas. So easy. Question E. Draw 2 repeat units of the polymer form. Oh my god. Okay, students. To draw the polymers, okay, so for this reactant with the COOH, remember this, they will always lose OH. And then for the other reactant, they will always lose 1H because they have to form the byproduct H2O. Okay, and then for the drawing, you just have to copy whatever structure is left. Like for example, this white box, I have C double bond O, and the OH is gone. Okay, so now this empty bond will stick to the O from the other reactant. Okay, so after combining them, you get your polymer. So this is 1 unit. So they ask for 2 units, you just have to copy the same structure for 1 more time. And that's it. Done. Okay, so you can see here we have the structure COO. So this is what they call the ester linkage. Okay. Number 2, state the type of polymerization where this acid. So this type of polymerization, which you have to lose H and OH to form water, this is called condensation polymerization. Okay, for the addition polymerization, it only happens in your alkenes with the double bond. Okay, so for that one, you just have to break the double bond and repeat the same structure. Okay, everyone. Oh yeah, so we're done with this paper. Hope you guys enjoy my video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your support, and all the best in your IG exam, everyone. Hope all of you get A star or else I'll hunt you down, and I don't know what I'll do. Anyway, see ya.